Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your babe Antoinette. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today we're making this delicious, this sumptuous toast that you're looking at, okay? Toast is made with cassava flour, and you don't have to really worry about the base, how it is made, because you get the flour in the market. You get it in the powdered form in the market. It's made out of cassava, so they basically just dry the cassava and then they blend or pound it, and then that is how you get the powdered form, which we're going to use in this video. Toast and groundnut soup are a match made in heaven, always a banger. Okay, so we'll be having the toast with groundnut soup. That is why I have this groundnut, and then I have this fresh fish. So feel free to use any protein of your choice. Okay, any protein at all can work. You can decide to use goat meat, cow beef, whatever. Just use any protein of your choice. So for me, I'll be using this fresh fish. Take a look at that, guys. Take a look at that. And then I'll be using onions, so I'll be using these two. You don't really need that much, especially with the price of onions nowadays. You don't need that much. And then we have the cassava flour. This is what I'm talking about. So before getting to this point, they peeled and dried the cassava and then they pound to have the flour. So this is what we're going to be using, and this is what they call toast. Some people actually call it Tori. I don't know if it's the fullers, but it is called Tori anyone, but this is what we're going to be making today. So when you prepare this, the finished product is almost like fufu, but then it is not fermented. Unlike fufu, the cassava is fermented. This one is not fermented, so it does not have the strong smell. So if you can't stand the smell of fufu, then I'll definitely recommend toast, and then it is softer than fufu as well. Next up is my seasoning cubes. I'll be using 2 seasoning cubes, salt, pepper, and ogiri. So my pepper was already in the blender, but you guys will see it soon. So the first thing I did was to cut and wash the fish, and then I seasoned with just a little bit of seasoning cube, and then I'm just going to set that aside. Up next, I am adding the groundnut to the pot. So I washed the groundnut, basically just mixing it with water, and then I'm going to carefully pour it in so that all the sand can settle underneath. So you can see that I took my time with that because you don't want to have sand in your soup. I also added more water because you want your groundnut to cook properly. Okay, you want this to cook really well. And then I added ogiri. So if you're going to be eating the groundnut soup with toast or fufu, you want to definitely add ogiri, which is fermented sesame seeds, because it gives it a totally different flavor, you know, from the groundnut soup that we eat with rice. So you definitely don't want to skip that. I'm now going to add the seasoning cubes, and then I'll cover it to boil, and when we come back we add the pepper and the onions. After boiling for about 30 minutes, I am now going to add the pepper and the onions. So you guys, you can see that the pepper is roughly blended, and I also added water to remove the seeds. So if you have pepper that has lots of seeds, you just want to mix it with water and then you strain it in. That way you'll avoid cooking all that pepper seeds. And then so yeah, next up I added the onions, and I'm going to let this boil for another 15 minutes. So we are back, and this is almost done, guys. It is almost done. So what you want to look out for is oil build up on top. So if you see oil settled on top like that, you know that the groundnut is done, because until it is cooked you cannot have that oil settled on top. So that is the sign. Okay, that is what you want to look out for. So yeah, now we're going to add the fish, and it is almost done. You guys know raw fish does not take time to cook, so that means we're almost at the end of this. Now that the fish is in, I'm going to mix carefully so that everything is well combined, and then I'll leave it to cook for another extra 7 minutes and we're done. So now that we're done making the soup, we're going to quickly prepare the tow. Okay, so in a pot I added water and I added some salt to taste, and I'm going to let this boil, and when we come back we are going to introduce the tow. Now you can choose to mix the tow in a separate bowl with room temperature water before adding into the pot, but then this particular method is just quick and easy. Just add the tow directly into the pot and then you mix as you go. You want to make sure you have boiled water on standby, because you're definitely going to need it, because you never know if you have enough water. So if you don't have enough water in the pot, then it is easier for you to add hot water. So just have hot water on standby. If you need it, then you can add in. Now I'm just mixing and mixing and mixing, and you really want to add some muscle here. Like, good muscle work is happening here. Okay, remember, you want to prepare this with all your effort so that it is smooth and nice. So you want to mix it really well. I have been mixing for a while and I now have it where I want it, so I'm just going to sprinkle water on it and cover it to steam. That way it is going to cook properly, and then it is going to come out really soft, just how we want it. After steaming for about 6 minutes, this is what we're working with. It is now looking really soft and easier for me to move my spoon. That shows it is done. So now let's serve. So to have the mold that I want, I'm going to be using this dip spoon, because it makes it really easier for me to have the perfect mold without hurting myself, because this thing is really hot, so I don't want to touch it with my bare hands. Just use this dip spoon and I have my perfect mold. And of course you can see someone standing there already because he's waiting for his food. But yeah, that's just by the way. So you see how our toe came out looking really cute, smooth and all that. Okay, and now we're pairing with groundnut soup. This groundnut soup bangs. It bangs. You guys definitely need to try it, and let me know what you think. Okay, give this a try, and yeah, you'll just thank me later, because it's just on 100 as always. Let me know what you think, you guys, in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Okay.